This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. We continue to follow breaking news for you. 3 people were shot in downtown Fargo early this morning. It happened just after midnight near the Bismarck Tavern. Authorities were in the area when they heard gunshots. They say they found 3 victims and all were taken to a local hospital. Still no word on what led to the shooting, the victims and their injuries, or if we're looking for a gunman. A person living nearby tells us they heard 7 or 8 shots go off. Anyone with information should text Fargo PD and your tip to the number on your screen. That's 847-411. An 18-year-old man has died after a snowmobile crash Friday in East Gull Lake, Minnesota. Around 11:30, authorities found the snowmobile and a seriously hurt man in the area of Birch Island. A friend of the victim, who was also riding in the area, was performing CPR when crews arrived. The victim was flown to a hospital in St. Cloud, where he later died of his injuries. This is the 4th serious snowmobile crash in Cass County this month. Authorities want you to keep these things in mind when you ride. Never ride alone, dress for survival, slow down, stay to the right of the trail, and never drink and drive. NDSU Bison football is back in action for the first time in a long time, and so are the fans. There's a lot of work that went into today's game at the Fargo Dome to make sure fans could enjoy safely. Aaron Walling has our story.
Football is back in town as green and gold cladded fans made their way to the Fargo Dome to watch the Bison take on Youngstown State. NDSU, much like other athletic programs in the country, are still dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Fans wore masks and spread out in the dome as part of NDSU's COVID procedures.
Seems like they're doing very well, very well. Numbers are down, that's what we want, but we still got to keep doing what we have to keep them down. It's a little different being in the spring, going to a football game rather than a baseball game or basketball, so it's a little different, but excited anyway, wanting to be back.
One of the people that oversaw these procedures play out was NDSU Athletic Director Matt Larson. The last time the Bison played a football game, it was October 3rd against Central Arkansas. And since then, Larson and his staff have been able to figure out changes to their COVID plan.
I think we did a lot of the heavy lifting back in October, had a great plan in place, ended up having a lot fewer fans back in October, but I think the state was in a much different place in terms of positive cases. And so a lot of our plan really carried forward. And again, a credit to the Fargo Dome staff, the City of Fargo, and NDSU staff for implementing the plan. And again, I think if you ask the people that came to the game, feel safe. And that was our ultimate goal, to make sure people could come here, feel safe, be able to cheer on the Bison in a great way.
Now the Bison have some time to review their procedures, as they'll be back in town on March 13th against Illinois State for the 2021 Trees Bowl. In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
It's been a busy few weeks for NDSU as they've had fans at both football and basketball games in town. Another warm day in the Valley, and it's looking like there's more where that came from. Let's go now to Summer for a look at our weather. Summer?
It was a beautiful Sunday across the Valley. In fact, Grand Forks, you warmed up to 40 degrees today. That was recorded at the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks. That's the first time we've reached 40 or higher in Grand Forks since December 9th. And a few more 40s on the board. It was 41 in Carrington and Harvey, 46 in Jamestown today, 43 in Valley City. Here in Fargo, we made it to 35 degrees, as did Thief River Falls, 39 in Baudette, Waskish, and in Bemidji as well. Before I came into work today, I decided to have a little fun myself out in the beautiful weather. Made myself a mini snowman. He stood about 3 or 4 inches tall, and then he didn't stand at all. This only took about 10 minutes for the poor little guy to topple right on over. Currently, temperatures are still mild. It's 33 degrees at this hour in Devil's Lake, 28 in Fargo, 27 in Grand Forks, Thief River Falls, and Detroit Lakes, 25 in Bemidji. And for tonight, our temperatures are looking to stay fairly steady and even rise a couple degrees, Courtney, as we'll see more cloud cover and maybe even a bit of light snow for some folks through the overnight and into tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks, Summer. That's hilarious. That snowman, you should have tried a couple of weeks ago.
I know, right? Too late.
Yeah, better late than never. While the North Dakota state legislature tries to expand gun rights, gun shops are trying to keep their shelves stocked. For nearly a year, stores have been in short supply. The pandemic shut down international trade and production, leaving smaller shops with less inventory. That's taking a toll on gun owners' practice.
I do a lot of reloading, and my friends do. Reloading supplies they're even harder to come by, especially primers. You know, ammo's precious, so I'm not really shooting much.
The state legislature is working on a bill that would promote the creation of state-run ammunition manufacturing plant as a response. Hundreds of anti-vaccine demonstrators gathered in Australia's main cities yesterday ahead of the country's COVID-19 vaccine rollout tomorrow. There was a heavy police presence in most cities, with some arrests made. In Sydney, demonstrators marched in streets with banners bearing anti-vaccine slogans. Demonstrators gathered in parks to listen to speakers and singers. More anti-vaccine demonstrations are planned in the coming days. Coronavirus infection rates and hospitalizations have been declining in recent weeks. But as the nation approaches the 500,000 mark in the death toll, health officials are urging Americans to stay vigilant. CBS News correspondent Nancy Chen reports from New York.
Close to a year into America's battle with COVID-19, leading health experts say there's reason to be hopeful.
We should be optimistic, in my view. I think we're going to continue to see infection rates decline into the spring and the summer. Right now, they're falling quite dramatically. I think these trends are likely to continue.
Yet they warn Americans must remain cautious to prevent another surge in coronavirus cases.
We really need to keep our guard up because we have variants out there that are circulating that have a greater degree of capability of transmitting from person to person. I refer specifically to the UK variant.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says he supports President Biden's assertion that by July there will be 600 million doses of vaccine available, enough for every American. On CBS's Face the Nation, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said the World Health Organization needs to lead a credible and transparent international investigation into the pandemic.
Because we do not believe that China has made available sufficient original data into how this pandemic began to spread, both in China and then eventually around the world. And we believe that both the WHO and China should step up on this matter.
As the U.S. approaches 500,000 coronavirus deaths, some chilling perspective. The virus has killed more Americans than those who died in battle in World Wars I and II, as well as the Vietnam War combined. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
The U.S. has surpassed 28 million confirmed cases of the coronavirus, according to Johns Hopkins University. That's far more than any other nation and close to 3 times as many as India and Brazil. The prices you pay at the pump are going up. We'll tell you how much later tonight on Valley News Live at 10.
And after a sunny Sunday, dark clouds are starting to increase out of the northwest, and right now we're even seeing a few flakes falling along the international border. We'll let you know how much snow we might see overnight coming up in your hour by hour plan.